Hi, and welcome to to episode 11 of the PassioKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnuffeltier on Ravelry and Instagram. It's written like this. I did open a Ravelry group for the podcast. You can find it under this. If you search for this, you'll find it. Also, there is a blog where you can find show notes most of the time. It's thepassionatespinner.wordpress.com. And thank you so much for joining me again this week. I can't believe that I'm doing this for the 11th time already. Time flies by. So, what I'm wearing today. I am wearing a shawl that I designed myself. I'm gonna take it off. And again, I'm using my Nicholas and Felice shawl pin that I adore, because it is the most beautiful thing ever. Isn't that awesome? I love it. I think I do have a second one, but I can't find all my shawl pins after we moved into the house. I hope it will turn up again. So, now, back to the shawl. It's called Anime, and it's a shawl that I designed myself. As you can see, it's a shallow little scarf shawl thingy. You knit the body of the shawl in short rows with 2x2 ribbing, and then there's a knit on edge that looks like this. It's a fun cable and lace pattern. I think it is. I'm gonna try to show you the other side because I ran out of yarn on my sample and had to attach another skein, and that was a bit lighter. But that is what the knit on edge looks like. So everything from here to here is the knit on edge, and the rest is just, like I said, 2x2 ribbing. It's I have a few patterns up on Ravelry, and they are all free downloads, so just if you want to check them out. I'm gonna try and get it back on me, which is, sounds so much easier than it is. So the only thing that I don't like about wearing a shawl with a shawl pin is the time until you have it attached where you want it. Hello? That's okay. It's not perfect, but it works. So that's what I'm wearing today. Anime shawl by myself. Check it out if you want to. Then let's go on into the show. Knitting in the past, there's nothing. Work was hell this week, and I did not knit a whole lot, as you can see right now when I show you my knitting in the present. But I do have other stuff to talk about, so it's gonna be okay. What I'm knitting on actively is the Follow Your Arrow shawl by Isolde Teak. I'm way behind because I told you before I'm not good at mystery knit-alongs, so I don't enjoy that, and I just wait for the clues to come out and decide then what I want to work on. This is the yarn that I'm using. It's from a German indie called 100 Farbspiele. It's a very nice gradient. And I just started clue 3 yesterday. So if you don't want to see it, please look away. I'm going to show it. So here is clue 1, 2, and the start of clue 3. I love the yarn. It's really great to work with. It's a cotton and polyamide blend, but it's really soft, and the gradient works out amazing, I think. As you can see, went from the bright orange into a reddy orange, so reddish orange. This is the color that I'm working with right now. And I really hope that I can get to the dark red. But this is what my clue, or my shawl looks like so far. I knit clue 1B, that's this one here, then 2A, and I'm working on 3A right now, and I think I'm gonna do 4A as well. The 4th clue came out yesterday, and I looked at it, no, not yesterday, last week. It came out last week, and I looked at the spoiler threads, and I think I like the lacy version better than the flower butt version thing. So I hope to finish clue 3 today so I can work on clue 4 tomorrow and maybe finish the shawl by next podcast, because the last clue comes out today, so that might be possible. The other thing that I'm working on is a baby hat that I just started on the weekend when I went to Knit Club at my local cafe. The yarn that I'm using is from Wool for Brains. She's based in England, and it's a hand spun, as you can see. It's a superwash merino, cashmere and nylon blend. And I did knit myself a pair of socks out of this. So this is the leftover yarn that I have. It's not a whole lot left now, but it's really, really beautiful. And like I said, it's just, I'm working on a hat. I wanted it to be like really baby size, but I think it's gonna be more toddler size because it's quite large, but that's okay because I really want to use up every last bit of the yarn, and it really knits up amazing. I'm knitting this on a 3mm needle. And I just cast on 100 stitches, and I'm gonna knit until I think it's time for knitting the crown of the hat, and then I'm just gonna do a crown and be done. So this will be done by next podcast. I really, really want it to be done. Another knit for the baby. So, and the last thing that I'm actively working on right now is a swatch, basically. I did knit a swatch for a top, a maternity top that I want to knit for myself. Quite a while ago I showed this book, Expectant Little Knits. And the top from the cover, that's the one that I'm casting on right now. And I did do a swatch. The pattern calls for a DK weight, but I don't want to use a DK weight, basically because I don't have a lot of DK weight in my stash. But I do have this amazing Rowan 4-ply soft. It's in a very nice shade of green, and I do have 6 skeins of this. So I just knit up a swatch. I started out with the US 5s that the pattern calls for, but that's just too loose for me. And I went down here to the US 3 that the yarn calls for, and I really do like that fabric a lot more. So I'm just gonna have to measure my swatch and do a little bit of math to find out which size I have to cast on. But I think it's gonna be not a problem at all. And I look forward to wearing this because it's the middle of February right now, and I don't have that much time to go with my pregnancy. So I figured if I'm not gonna start a sweater, a maternity sweater right now, I just don't have to start one at all, because I'm not gonna knit something that I'm gonna wear for 2 weeks. So I'm gonna try and show you another picture of it. Looks like this. It's with a lot of glare. Well, nah. You can see it best on here on the cover. I'm not sure what I think about the band that goes around, but I think without it would look like weird shaped. So I'm just gonna finish the top and then I'll decide if I want to do the band or not. And that's it for knitting in the present. I really, like I said, I did not knit this week at all. I did read a lot, but I wasn't up to knitting. So for knitting in the future, I do have something. I want to knit myself a shrug, and I've wanted to do this forever because I like to read in bed and my arms get cold. So I'm gonna knit myself a shrug to keep my arms warm. And this is what I'm gonna do. It's just a simple shrug. The pattern is by Bonnie Jacobs. It was a free download on Ravelry forever. Now it's a $3 pattern, and I know that writing patterns is a lot of work because I have some patterns up on Ravelry and they are all in German and English. But this is the pattern. I mean, I'm showing you the back of the page, of course, because it's a paid pattern now, but it's one page and it's one size. And it's a shrug. So, I don't know. I'm gonna show you the other pictures. That's what it looks like from the side and from the back. I do like it because it's exactly what I want. But honestly, I don't think that I would have paid anything for a pattern like this. Sorry. I hope I don't sound like a douchebag, but it's just, I wouldn't. So, on to spinning. I did spin a little bit this week, but to be honest, I spun all of it yesterday. And oh, that's not quite true. I did start spinning something on Thursday or so, Friday. And it's this one here. It's a superwash merino and cashmere blend. It's from Dripping Fiber Studios. This color is perfect, spot on. It's a little bit of blue, a lot of browns and greens and not, just undyed spots. This is half of it. And I didn't really make a dent in the other half because I'm spinning it to be a Navajo plied sock yarn. So here is the card from Dripping Fiber Studios. You can find it on Etsy, the shop. I'm going to show you the back of it as well, where it has the information for what I'm working with right now. I'm trying to. Yeah, like I said, it's dreamy soft. It's superwash merino with cashmere. It's very, very nice. It spins amazingly. It drafts super thin. That's why I decided on doing a Navajo plied sock yarn. And I just split the whole roaming down the center, the long way. And that's 1/2. Gonna try to spin both halves equally. So this is not working the way I want it to work. So that I have a pair of nice, hopefully close matched socks. The other thing that I'm spinning right now is a set of Rolex. Here they are. That I made myself. I do have a blending board and I do like to play with it, and then occasionally I put up stuff on my Etsy shop, which I'm going to talk about a little later. So this is a set of Rolex that I made for myself sometime last year. There are dark red with a lot of yellow and white underneath that you really can't see. And I started spinning and spun up half of them yesterday, and that's what it looks like. Like I said, it's a lot of yellow because that's what I wanted it to be. This is the card that I use for my Rolex. I called those Sunset in Maine. You can see my shop information in the back here. So basically I'm schnüffelt here everywhere. And what I do in the inside is I do it like this. I have a lot of stuff written down and I just check what I used. This blend is has a lot of merino, a little bit of Wensleydale, some linen and silk, some Angelina, and some texel. Texel is a very coarse sheep, and it makes the spinning of the Rolex very easy, because it holds everything together. So I look forward to spinning the rest of this and ply it up, because I really, really like it. Like I said, it's exactly what I wanted it to be. I'm gonna try to show you one of the Rolex, maybe as a little, here you go. My lighting today sucks because it's super not snowy. We have a lot of snow outside and it's super sunny, so it's extremely bright. But this is what my Rolex look like. They're more vibrant in real life, but I just can't get it to show. Maybe I can show you next week in the finished yarn. So that's the other thing I'm working on. And the third spin that I'm working on right now is my is a spindle UFO that I've started, I think 2 years ago or something like that. I showed you before because I showed you the spindle that I was working on, and those are Rolex from Fondant Fiber. I talked about her, I think 3 weeks ago. That is what it looks like. I have 3.5 more Rolex to spin up, and then I'll be able to ply. And I started spinning on my Aaron Makes Stuff spindle. He does the pencil, the colored pencil spindles that everyone is craving, but I got this one here and I'm super happy with it because I think it looks like superheroes. That's the back and that is the front, and it is amazing. It spins like a dream, it really does, and I just started spinning up the Rolex that I have left. I'm gonna do all 4 Rolex on this spindle, and then I think I might spindle ply it as well with my Kundert spindle that I haven't brought here to show you, but that's what I plan. Maybe I'll just switch it up and ply it on the on one of my wheels, because plying with a spindle takes forever and I really, really want this to be done. Then the next thing that I really want to finish is another spindle UFO. I've spun up all of this, and that is pure silk. I have no idea how much it is. I think the spindle came from Galia, from Israel. It's a polymer clay spindle. It's a beautiful spindle, and this alone is not enough for anything, so I got out some pure alpaca that I'm gonna spin on a different spindle, and I'm gonna ply those together because I think when I hold it together the colors are okay. I think it's not bad together. And to be honest, a 50% silk and 50% alpaca blend just sounds amazing to me, so I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be hopefully a finished yarn next week as well, because this is laying around at least 5 years. And why keep stuff on a spindle for 5 years without making anything of it? It's just stupid. So I'm gonna get rid of this UFO as well. And then I want to start spinning something on my Bliss after I finish the Rolex. And it's this bag of Awesomeness. I'm gonna take out a little bit of it because I can't show you what it is. It's bats that I carded on my drum carder. They look like this. They are brown. Basically, there's a lot of brown in here. This color is perfect. It's brown with neutrals and a lot of red and pink. Some blue. Gizmo, hello. My cat decided to visit me. I don't have tags yet for bats, so I'm just gonna have to cross that off and write bats in here. I called those a walk through Donegal, because if you've ever been in Donegal, not the city, but the county in Ireland, there's a lot of heathers around there, and that's just what it reminded me of, because I've been there a few times before and I loved it. So, Gizmo, nix umschmeißen, lass es. I have, that's my calculation, because I made, I think, 11 of those little bats, and altogether I have about 365 grams, no, 385 grams, and I used, it's not focusing, I used merino, linen, silk, and Angelina for it. Gizmo, last this. My cat is obsessed with licking plastic bags. I don't know why. I think he's totally weird, but he's obsessed with it. And I just put my bag of bats next to me and he immediately started. So, Gizmo, I'm sorry. Komm her. Leg dich hin. Okay, he's sitting next to me now. I really hope he's not going to knock something out, down. Yeah. I have to scratch his ear. Gizmo. Yeah, that's what it is. So, this will go on the Bliss. I hope to spin it up real fast. I want to have DK to worsted weight in the end, because there is a sweater that I want to knit out of this, and I have another skein of hand spun that I will combine it with. I'm going to talk more about that when it's time to do it, but yeah, those will go on the Bliss next. My own little bats. Just kind of put it back and put the bag away, because Gizmo is still here, and he, like I said, loves plastic bags because he's a weird little boy. So, and of course now he left. Okay, new stuff. There's nothing. I did not get anything in the mail this week. That will change next week, because I know of things that are at customs right now, and I just have to wait for them to ship them to me. So there will be new stuff next week. There's nothing this week, which is fine, because I have quite a large stash in them. I don't need to have new stuff every week. Now, indie of the week, I decided to talk about myself a little bit. I normally don't like doing that, because if you know me in real life, you won't believe it, but I'm really shy. And yeah, I just, like I said, I don't enjoy talking about myself. But I do have an Etsy shop, and I really hope it's gonna focus for me, because yeah, you can find it at etsy.com/shop/Schnüffeltier, because I'm Schnüffeltier everywhere. And I do have nothing in the shop right now, but I'm gonna change that, because I want to make some more Rolex. I want to make some bats, and also I have some socks up there that either me or my mom knit, and some other stuff that I knit or wove, and I only have, 2 feet, and I can't use all the socks that I knit. It's just impossible. So I put them up in my shop, and maybe you're interested in getting them. I'm so sorry. So, my phone's off now. Like I said, we called the shop HR Knits, because it's my mom's first name and my German nickname. And yeah, you can find it as the shop of Schnüffeltier on Etsy. And also, like I said before when I showed you the shawl, I do have quite a lot of patterns up on Ravelry. They're all for free except for one pattern. That's a pattern for the Afterthought heel, and it's a German version of it. There's only a German version, no English version. And I made a 10-page tutorial with a lot of pictures. So that's up for sale. And everything else that I've done is up for as a free download. And they're all available in English and German. So if maybe you want to check it out, if not, it's fine, okay. It's okay as well. I mean, everyone gets to do what they want to do. So, on to everything else, because that's all I have to talk about. All that's left to talk about, let's say it like this. I did read quite a lot this week. I told you work was hell, and I was just exhausted when I came home, so I didn't want to knit or spin. I just couldn't make myself do it. So I did read a lot. And I talked about those books before, because I've been reading the first 2 books before today. So I showed this, I think, 2 weeks ago. It's Im Herzen die Rache. The English title is Fury. It's the first book of the trilogy, and I had finished this last week. So I did read, or I started this book in the beginning of the week. It's Im Herzen der Zorn. The English title is Envy, I think. Just gonna check again. Yeah, the English title is Envy. It's the second part of the trilogy. And I did read it, I think, this week in a week or so. And the last book is Im Herzen die Gier. The English title, I think, is Eternity. Check that for... Yeah, it's Eternity. And I read this in one day. It's the last book of the trilogy, and it's by far the best book. I told you after I finished the first book, I wasn't sure if I really wanted to continue the trilogy because I was so mad at what happened. But this book here made everything perfect. It was an amazing third book in the trilogy. So I highly recommend the trilogy now, after I've finished everything, because this book, also the second book, that one was really good, and that one was just awesome. So it's the Fury trilogy by Elizabeth Miles, and it's a young adult urban fantasy thing, I would say. Then I started a new book yesterday that I got in the library. It's called Magisterium, and it's called Magisterium in English as well. It's by Holly Black and Cassandra Clare. I've never read anything by Holly Black, but I did read the Immortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare, I don't know. But I really enjoyed it, and so I thought this book might be awesome. As you can see, I'm not that far into it, but I do love how the book looks. It's like this bronzy color on the pages, but I don't like it so far. I really don't. I got it in the youth section of the library, and it's for kids, I think, from 10 up. And on the first 5 pages in the prologue of the whole thing, there are like tons of dead people, and there's a lot of blood, and a screaming little kid with a broken leg. That's just, yeah, I don't think that that's appropriate for a 10-year-old kid. It's weird. I'm gonna continue reading today, and if by the end of today I still don't like it, I'm gonna stop reading this, because life is too short for reading books you don't enjoy, and I'm just gonna continue with something else. I'll let you know next week if I finished it or not, but right now I'm leaning towards not. Either it's gonna be perfect from now on, or it's not for me. So, I have to check my notes, have to check my basket over here, but I think that is it. It's all I had for this week. I hope I have more knitting content next week, because I have a school break this week. It's the winter break, and I plan on knit a lot. I really want to finish the shawl. I want to finish the baby hat. I want to go back to the baby cardigan that I've been working on, and I want to make a dent in my husband's sweater. Also, I'm in this weird mood where, I really want to finish everything that I have started, and also I want to start like a million things. So we'll see what happens. I don't know yet. But I hope you have a wonderful week. I know I will have a great week because I don't have to go to work and I can enjoy knitting and spinning and watching podcasts and reading and just do whatever I want to do. And I'll talk to you again next Sunday. Bye.